Hello, welcome back, Steve's Corner. Buckle up, 2024 looks like it's going to be a roller coaster ride. Real quick, I want to wish everybody Thanksgiving. I started to make a video on Monday like I always do, but I got busy and I weren't feeling it, so I said forget it. But it's a good time of year, Doc. You get to come together with family and friends, loved ones, and just celebrate being together and enjoying each other's company. You need to be thankful for that, the ability that you have to do that. And you need to be grateful for the blessings that you've received over the past year. It's an important time, man. You don't know what, nobody knows what the next 12 months are going to hold. So enjoy yourself. Enjoy the day the best you can. Steve's going to, I can tell you that, Doc. But buckle up. 2024 is shaping up to be a roller coaster year. Man, we got a lot of stuff going on now. Next year's going to be an election. They're going. It looks like Israel's still going to be fighting against Hamas. Ukraine's still going to be going on. And China's rearing its ugly head. They've been over here getting all their goodies from Biden from all the payoffs they give them the last decades. So it's next year at this time, man, after the election, it shape up to be a whole different world than what it is right now. And I hate that daggone Ukraine and Israel are still having them wars going on, man. War's a bad thing, man. A lot of innocent people get killed in wars, man. That's why you should never go to war unless it's an absolute necessity. It's heartbreaking to see all them civilians, them young children, them old ladies and old men and stuff, and people that have no desire to go to war get killed in it, man. It's heartbreaking. And what scares me a lot is I really hate it for these young guys we got that are in the service now. Because we got a large presence overseas right now because of these two wars. And as soon as somebody on our side gets killed, it's not going to take much for us to be involved in one of them. And it's a scary situation, man. I think Russia, I think Hamas ought to be held accountable for their actions, no doubt. I think Ukraine, I think Israel ought to do whatever it takes to hold them accountable. But it's a bad situation in both places. And I worry about our young soldiers going over there. Because, it's just a bad situation all around. When you got people that just won't play nice with somebody else, man, they have to be held accountable to their actions. Just like these daggone them riots they had. And back when Trump was president, man, all them defunding the police and taking over cities and blocking people from using public streets and stuff like that. Nobody was held accountable for any of that stuff. They didn't try to stop any of that stuff. And it's just continually grown, and the crime is just continually gotten worse. You got to nip that stuff early. And you got to teach people that, hey, man, there's a way to live in civil life, man. And if you do wrong, you're going against civility, then you need to be held accountable for it and taught different. It's just like raising a kid, man. You raise them good, chances are they're going to turn out good. If you don't raise them at all, don't give them no correction, turn it out, they might turn out to be just like them nuts out there doing all that stuff. And then we got that election. We got Congress trying to decide whether they're going to hold impeachment proceedings on Uncle Joe. Hey, man, there's no doubt they got enough to hang him on. they got more to hang him on than they ever had on Trump, and they impeached him twice. Turns out everything they impeached him for was correct. I mean, as far as he was right on what he was doing, you know. But I honestly don't think they ought to impeach him. He's not going to know the difference because he's not with it in the head, you know. I think they ought to use all the information they found out on him, and they ought to use it during the elections next year in order to go against the Democrats on. I really do. I think that's the best way to handle it, because they all got their fingers in it, one way or another, and they can use that information against them and just crush them. And that's what they're going to need to do in order to win. There's no doubt they got enough to get him on, but I think they ought to use it for next year's election. I think they ought to pound it every day for the next year. You know, I mean, they done said Biden ain't gonna run for elect, or ain't gonna do no campaigning. Everybody else is gonna do it for him, media and other Democrats. So, I mean, I don't know, man. But it ain't looking very good. Next year's looking kind of rough. And you're still talking about daggone a recession happening. They've been talking about it. They talked about it last year that it was going to happen bad this year. And it turned out not to be that way. Nobody knows anything about that stock market, Doc, for definite. You can keep saying there's a recession. Eventually there's going to be one, you know. And I don't mean no harm, but I think we've been in a recession probably for 2 years or better now. The way stuff is. Hey, prices have come down, but the cost of living really hasn't come down, you know. So we hit a recession next year. You got them two wars going on. You got the crime waves picking up and steadily kicking. And you got the daggone election happening. Man, it's going to be a bumpy ride all year next year. Buckle up, secure yourself, and sit back and watch the festivities. Is about all we can do. So it ought to be an interesting year. I mean, a lot of stuff can go wrong, but I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be an interesting year. It's going to be a historic year, I believe. We'll see. Well, y'all take care of yourselves. Enjoy your holiday weekend, and be careful if you happen to be traveling. We'll talk with y'all later.